Another interesting thing that the article did mention is that utilization is up. It says since April, utilization has gone up to 34%. Now, if you're new to watching this channel, you're probably not aware, but I like to teach my subscribers to keep their utilization under 10%, either at 10% or less than 10%. But 34% is even above the 30% that the three major credit bureaus recommend. So 34% is a little high for Americans, and I understand why their utilization. Hey, what's going on out there? I'd like to welcome every single one of you to Water Your Soil. So this video right here is going to be a little helper for anyone who wants to increase their FICO credit score. And honestly, that should be every single one of us. I know some people, they may have good or excellent credit scores right now, so they're probably just trying to maintain their credit scores. But the same principles can be used for those of you who are trying to increase your credit score, as well as those of you who are already where you want to be and you just want to maintain your FICO credit score. So getting into the video, some of you may not be aware of what FICO credit scores are, or even how the three major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, come up with FICO credit scores. I like to break it down in simple form. I put it in the most simplest way possible. Your FICO credit scores basically come down to how well you manage your debt. What is your debt? Your debt is all of the accounts that you have that report to the three major credit bureaus. So some people may say, hey, I'm not really a fan of debt. I don't want to hear anything in regards to debt. I don't care about debt, so therefore I don't care about credit scores. And those who are savvy when it comes to FICO credit scores and credit cards and things like that, we know that you can still be debt free as well as maintain and have a good or excellent FICO credit score and have credit cards. And that's the cool thing. Some of you may ask how, and it simply comes down to paying off whatever you spend. If you're using your credit card like a debit card, that pretty much wipes away the debt that you owe, and you're not going to be paying interest, especially if you pay it off immediately. You're balancing full the next month. Now, some people, they want to go that route. Some don't. But in this video, I'm going to really talk about how all of you, whether you're maintaining or you're currently trying to increase your FICO credit score. You know, last night it was cool. I did a live. Actually, I did a live video Friday and Saturday night. Shout out to all of you who came and tuned in to my live video. I decided, and we decided as a whole collectively, me as well as the people who showed up to the stream, that we're going to do a live stream on Friday nights. So this Friday, I want those of you who are watching this video right now to tune in Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, I'm letting you all know. I'm going to also put out more this week in order to let you know. But 7 p.m. Eastern time on Friday, on this upcoming Friday, I'm going to be doing a live. And just come by and talk, leave your questions in the chat, come by, associate with the rest of my subscribers. It's pretty much a cool vibe. We could talk about credit cards, we could talk about FICO credit scores, we could talk about pretty much anything as long as it's respectful. So come by and check it out. Now, if you're someone that's trying to build up your FICO credit score, I always tell people, look at your credit report. Some people refuse to do this. They don't want to look at their FICO credit report. They want to go about doing things the hard way, in my opinion, and they think it's the easy way, but in reality, it's the hard way. Your FICO credit report, whether it's with Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion, what it has is your accounts on there. It's basically like your x-ray. It's your report card at school. It's basically going to tell you what's going on with your personal finances and how well you are managing your personal finances. It's going to tell you the accounts that you have, how long you have had those accounts, how well you're doing with paying off of those accounts, whether or not you've been applying for new accounts or whether or not you have accounts in collections. It's going to tell you all of these things. And every time I talk to someone and they say, hey, my credit score won't budge or my credit score decrease, I always tell them to refer back to their credit report. And some people, you know, they get mad. They're like, hey, why are you telling me to refer back to my credit report? I need the magical fix. Well, the magical fix is usually on your credit report. Your credit report is usually going to let you know what's going on, whether or not you need to pay down some of your debt, which it usually is the issue for a lot of people who have credit scores that are under 600. You either have a lot of debt or you don't have enough accounts. And both of those things are fixable. You can fix both of those things. Now, there are some people who have bankruptcies and a lot of collections and things like that, but majority of this stuff is fixable within the next 2 to 3 years. And I'm just being honest, majority of it. I'm not saying that you'll go from a 400 to a 800 in a 2 to 3 year span. I'm not saying that. But what I mean by saying it's fixable, I mean that you can start to build up your credit score and see constant improvement on your FICO credit score. And that's the key. If you're someone with a credit score in the 4s or the 5s or the 600s, the key that you want to focus on is finding your trouble areas, which your credit report is going to help you find. And once you find those trouble areas, start to work on them and see if it has a positive impact on your FICO credit score on a month-to-month basis. The cool thing about being in the 4s or the 500s or the 600s, which isn't really cool, but there is one positive to it for all of you. I know you're probably saying, like, positive? How's that positive? Your score can increase more drastically than someone who is in the 7 or 800s. If you're in the 800s, it's only so much you can go. You can't go up 100 points on FICO credit scoring and things like that unless you live in another country, especially when it comes to FICO 8. But if you are in the 4s or the 5s or the 600s, you have room to grow. Actually, you have a lot of room to grow. So you can see your score increase drastically, the 100s, the 200s, and sometimes the 300s. It's funny because I received an email from Credit Karma the other day, and Credit Karma, they showed me how my credit score increased drastically over the span of a couple of years. I got the email and it said your credit score increased 200 and something points. And I was like, what? Is something wrong? But it was showing me over time. It wasn't like recently, because that wouldn't be possible. But the main thing that you want to do when you are trying to increase your credit score is focus on that credit report. Look at it. See what needs to improve. If you have debt, if you have a lot of debt, chop down on your debt, whether you need to pick up another job or you need to pick up a side hustle, whatever it may be, start chopping down on that debt. Also, this is kind of common sense, but it's important to know. Make sure you're paying on time. I know that's like a broken record. You probably hear that all the time, but it's true. Make sure you're paying on time, because on-time payments matter, and those late payments do show up on your credit report. And one key thing that I love to talk about on this channel, your credit card utilization. All of you don't have credit cards, but for those of you who do, make sure that you're keeping your utilization under 10% or less. They say 30%. They mean in the 3 major credit bureaus, but I say put it under 10 to have optimal results. And one thing that's important is credit mixtures. So if you don't have enough accounts on your credit report, which may be the case for a lot of you who are just starting out, make sure that you do consider adding more accounts. Now, if you're not financially in the position to do this, don't do it. That wouldn't be smart. But if you are, it's something that you may want to consider. I'm not telling you to do it. As always, I'm not a financial advisor. But the 3 major credit bureaus, they are a fan of credit mix, meaning different types of accounts, whether you have a credit card, an auto loan, a home loan, student loans, personal loans, whatever it may be. They like seeing a mixture, and that mixture does have an impact, a positive impact normally, especially if you're managing those accounts correctly. It normally has a positive impact on your FICO credit score. So make sure, no matter if you're in the 500s, 600s, the 7s, or the 8s, make sure you're paying attention to your credit report on a month-to-month basis. And I mean that for all 3 major credit bureaus. People call them credit reporting agencies. It could be either or. And I have proof that it could be either or. But make sure that you are checking with Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion on a month-to-month basis. There are sites that you can go and Google, and you can sign up to check your credit report on a month-to-month basis. Experian.com lets you do it. Equifax, you could do that through MyFICO, and TransUnion, you normally could do it with your bank or you could go through TransUnion. Whichever way, it's important to check your credit report. You can also check your Equifax and TransUnion credit reports on Credit Karma. I always tell people don't pay attention to that Credit Karma score, but do pay attention to the credit report on there because they update that often, and it can let you know if something funny pops up on your credit report or if you're not managing your accounts correctly. But anyways, if you're new here and you're feeling the vibes, this is Water Your Soil. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications. That way you don't miss a future video. Also, this goes to every single one of you. Be sure to hit the like button. That's your way of supporting this video. It also helps the algorithm recognize this video is something that should be pumped out to others. Hold on. Wait. Before you leave, be sure to check out the description box below. That way you can have all the credit resources from Water Your Soil. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button as well, all right? In the description box below, I always tell people, check out the description box below for extra resources from Water Your Soil. Part of the description box also showcases my book that I have. I have a book. It's been out for a while now. It's been out for years. It's titled Strategies to Master Credit. The book is available. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble. Most online bookstores have the book. And the book is basically about how FICO credit scoring works. Once you understand how FICO credit scoring works, you're pretty much on your way to helping yourself build, develop, and maintain a good credit score. So check the book out whenever you get a chance.